You would have better conversation with your chamber walls than with the boatman Charon, boy. Not all those of the underworld are prone to ceaseless chatter quite like you.
Ceaseless chatter. I think I hear the river. Charon's shop. Why, good to see you, Charon, mate. Just minding my own business, taking in the sights, and hey, what's that you got? Some sort of wares for sale? And I'll just have a look around.
The infernal wares of the Stygian boatman Charon lie sprawled about, available for sale to whomever would be willing to quench the boatman's great thirst for riches.
That would be me. Hey, good to see you out here, mate. It looks as though you've got some fine wares up for sale, don't you?
The river Styx flows infamously through the underworld, offering the boatman Charon expeditious travel from the realm of mortals to the lowest depths, where many of their shades reside forever.
Too bad I can't just take the ferry to the surface. Got to say, you are a sight for sore eyes there, Charon. So, looks like you're selling. Is that it? You come to help me out? Brilliant. Hey, Charon, if there happens to be something really horrible awaiting me beyond that door, then give me a sign, won't you? Great.
The searing flame and ashes of the river Phlegethon mean nothing to the ferryman Charon, who travels all the waters of the underworld bearing the dead, the damned, and all their fineries.
I do enjoy dead people's fineries. Hey, Charon, I'm an asphodel now, aren't I? I'd always heard this was some flower-covered meadow-type place, not such a terrifying hellscape. Couldn't agree more, mate. You must have a lot of stops around these parts, don't you, Charon, mate? Most of the dead are here in Asphodel, correct? I'll just have a look around. Care to provide me any insight as to just what sort of hideous monstrosity awaits me over on the next infernal island, Charon, mate? That bad, huh?
The vast and multitudinous riches of both the surface and the underworld are hoarded by the river boatman Charon, whose services are often tendered to the wealthiest within Elysium.
He really gets around.
Not far from here, the dead begin their journey to their final resting place down in the depths below. And so the river boatman Charon often passes through.
Generous selection of his wares. Charon, mate. Now, hypothetically, if I provided you with, say, 1,000 coins, would you be willing to give me a ride in your beautiful boat? Upriver, I should say, specifically. I had to ask. Charon, mate. I don't suppose you've given any further thought to my proposal to just, you know, ferry me up to the surface, seeing as it's not out of your way. I'll take that as a no. Charon, you've been such a reassuring sight, I thought I'd offer you a token of my gratitude. Wait, you don't have to give me something in return. It was a gift. Though, you're insisting, aren't you? I don't know what to say, mate. Glad you like it, mate. Thank you for helping me out with your supply, even if you fleece me with those prices. You enjoy that, mate? When it comes time to reconsider your price structure, hope you think of me. Enjoy it, Charon, mate. Don't go thinking I'm just being kind to get you to lower your prices for me. That would be unconscionable. Well, look at you, Charon, mate. You're looking well. Something's different about you. Can't quite put my finger on it. Have you done something with your hair? Ha, I knew it. Hey, Charon, mate. Wanted to thank you once again for the fine hourglass you gave to me before. It's been very handy with those wells of yours. Well, cheers. You know, I thought you'd say that, Charon, mate, but I insist you take it and enjoy, all right? I'm pleased to have you as a friend as well, Charon. The pleasure's mine. Charon, mate, as a long-time customer, I just wanted to take a moment to thank you again for your invaluable service as a part of my repeated attempts at getting out of here. What would I have done without your wares all these many times? Besides, dying a lot faster. Well, I meant every word. Charon, I realize you have a very busy schedule and certainly needn't keep going out of your way for me like this, so here. Just a small token of my appreciation for you. If you ever want to talk, know that I'm here. Thank you, mate. Hey, what is it you're always staring at out there anyway, Fen? I don't see anything.
The river Styx is right in front of you and you don't see anything, Zag? I can watch it endlessly. Studying a competition, you might say. Most mortals expect to get here by river with Charon, not with me.
So you're locked in ruthless battle with a river, searching it for any signs of weakness, that sort of thing. That sounds stressful.
I find it rather soothing, as a matter of fact. A break from having to deal constantly with mortal souls. Speaking of which, I have to pick somebody up right now.
Go get them. I hope I haven't been inconveniencing you too much with all the visits to the temple lately, boy. Say, how do you get back? Charon giving you a lift?
Thus asks the prince his question of the guardian of the gates of hell, knowing full well the multi-headed monster keeps a wide berth of the river boatman, as do all with any sense.
Just kidding, boy.
Have you?
Nix, have you seen Charon lately? Everything all right with him? I can never tell how he's doing.
Charon and I have not lately taken opportunities to correspond. But he has always been among the least dependent of my children, other than perhaps only the fates. This much I know and can assure to you. He always is content to steer his boat.
I suppose you were the one to thank for his assistance when it comes to selling me his wares and such.
No, he is the one to thank. Do not mistake his lack of speech for lack of cleverness. He serves this house as I do, but he does not answer to me.
Doesn't answer to me either.
Heard you made it, Zag.
What's going on with Charon, by the way, if you can tell me, Than? He's never been particularly talkative, but he really seems to know the inner workings of this place.
I correspond with Charon all the time, but even I don't know the full extent of his responsibilities. He's an independent contractor of sorts, been here forever. Your father gives him plenty of space to work.
He must be compensated pretty well for having done this for so long, tending the influx of new souls and all of that.
I doubt he's in it for the compensation, Zagreus. There is no underworld without Charon. I think he knows that, and your father knows it too.
I never thought of it like that. Hey, were you ever close with Charon, then? Seems like no matter how much I try, I can't quite get through to him.
Wouldn't be surprised if you were closer to him than I am. Not all of Nyx's sons and daughters keep in steady touch. Though at least we're not always at each other's throats, like the other side of your family.
Fair enough.
But I've returned as promised to this house. My love is there, whilst my responsibilities are here.
You sound despondent again, mate. You must wish you were there right now. I'm sorry you had to come all the way back.
Oh, on the contrary, Zagreus. It dawned upon me that having some distance between my responsibilities and my domestic life, why, it is not so bad. Besides, Charon makes travel to and fro quite simple for me, really.
Great to hear it. I can only imagine. I'll pay for that.
I see the boatman of the underworld has found a means to reach you with my blessing, nephew. Such strange alliances we forge these days.
Don't spend it all in one plate.
Ah, so then the boatman Charon came through for us after all, did he? Whatever means we have to reach you, we'll employ.
Why not?
Why, here I am, young man, in such strange circumstances, I might add. Luckily, the boatman Charon is much easier to get a hold of than your father.
It should come in useful.
Your Charon there must strike quite a hard bargain, Zagreus, if he would keep you from your victory just for a bit of coin. What? Ah, you found me, little nephew. Strewn among the inventories of that most disturbing river boatman. That means you win my blessing.
Here's the fee.
Nothing comes freely for the mortals on the surface, nephew. And from the sound of things, it isn't any different with that Charon character.
Cheers, mate.
Well, nephew, I know that salty Charon can be difficult, but I'm certain that whatever price you paid, you got a deal.
Why not?
Let me just say, nephew, that money-hoarding boatman best be fair with you. Because I'd hate to see anything happen to that little boat of his.
Help keep me going.
The river boatman Charon is beholden to your father's realm, but seems agreeable enough for a fair price.
It should come in useful.
You're difficult to track there in the depths, cousin. Though the boatman Charon thankfully is proving of some help.
I'll take this one.
We cannot effectively communicate with Charon from Olympus, but he is amenable to certain trades, and seems unfettered by your father's influence.
Pleasure doing business.
Looks like we meet again, dearest, here among the foul detritus of the boatman's wares. You truly take me to the best of places.
Should help keep me going.
One cannot put a price on love, but on my blessings from the boatman for my dearest, I'd say we're settled up. Oh, good, we meet again. At first I didn't know how to get through to that odd river boatman Charon. Turns out he lusts for coin, and now I understand him well.
Always a pleasure, Charon.
I guess this means you must have paid the boatman's ransom here. And whatever price he charged you, it was worth it.
Should come in useful.
You know, one thing I'll say for Charon there, he doesn't talk too much. And since neither do you, I'm letting you have this.
I'll pay for that.
I knew that foul boatman would come through, and you would find amongst his wares this gift.
Don't spend it all in one plate.
Your boatman there is a reliable deliverer of death, it seems. And that makes 3 of us, I think.
Pleasure doing business.
I trust the river boatman Charon has been keeping plenty busy lately, thanks to me.
Why not?
The boatman Charon ought to invest into a boat of more substantial size if he's to keep up with my work, my kin. Hey, what's with that Charon, man? He's sort of, I don't know, though I am glad he's been of service.
Here's the fee.
Ah, you found me holding up in Charon's nasty stash there, did you, man? Well, good. Yeah.
Just what I need.
I bet that Charon has to be the life of every feast you have down there with such a personality. Am I not right about that, man?
Oh, truly. My message comes to you by riverboat this time, young Zagreus. At least that Charon is amenable to our attempts to contact you.
Should help keep me going.
I trust your ferry boatman Charon has no qualms about the freezing temperatures up here.
Cheers, mate.
Why, hello, cuz. Odd that we're running into one another here. Among the wares of my professional associate, I mean. Must be some sort of clerical mistake.
Here's the fee.
You're well familiar with my professional associate there with the boat. Souls of the recently departed gotta make it over to the underworld somehow. Part of my job. I bring them in, he takes them down.
I can use this.
I guess I'm used to these one-sided chats here, boss, thanks to my work experience with my professional associate down there. You tell him I said hi, all right? That's quite a nice bone hourglass you've got there, boss. So you're in good with my professional associate as well. A real gentleman.
I'll pay for that.
A word of caution, cuz. Don't ask too many questions about me or my professional associate down there. I hand souls over to him, and that's it, you understand?
Why not?
How strange of a coincidence that you keep running into me along the riverside like this. Don't you agree there, cuz?
I'll pay for that.
Wouldn't you know it, boss? I was just minding my own business, handing off a few dearly departed souls to my professional associate, and who shows up but you?
should come in useful.
I've been working with my good professional associate, the boatman there, since I don't know how long. Though, let me tell you, cuz, we haven't had a job quite like this yet.
Thank you, mate.
I tell you not to ask too many questions of my good professional associate nearby, but then who are we kidding, boss? Not like he'd answer you those questions anyhow.
Don't spend it all in one place.
My heavy-breathing professional associate was gracious enough to drop me off here with his other stuff, and for quite an affordable price at that.
Pleasure doing business.
A message for you, boss, from my professional associate who wanted you to know, and I quote...
Wow, thank you, Charon. Sorry. Charon, look, I can explain. It's just, I've grown very accustomed to taking stuff throughout my father's realm. I wasn't stealing from you, honestly. That was not an understanding sound. Wait, why are you brandishing your oar in such a menacing way? Oh, it's... No! How'd he get so strong?
I'm up. Hey, my brother Charon killed you. Am I seeing this right? He's never been particularly nice to me. Whacked me with his oar a couple of times, but it never got that bad. Must be some misunderstanding. Have you talked to him?
I have.
Verify something for me here, boy. According to the latest reports, you attempted unsuccessfully to shoplift from Charon himself, and were consequently slain. Utterly ignoble end, even for you.
I was borrowing, okay? Not shoplifting. Why didn't anybody ever tell me Charon was such a monster? I thought the boating mercantile thing made for a peaceful life.
You incur the wrath of ancient chthonic gods, and then are surprised to be destroyed by them. Have you learned nothing after all this time?
No. You're not angry with me, are you, Charon, mate? No hard feelings about that whole battle to the death thing last time, right, Charon? Especially since you absolutely demolished me. I was just messing with you, you know that, right? Always appreciate your sense of humor, mate.
I can't believe you got into a fight with my professional associate and you after something, cuz. Just about everybody that I know, they're all at least a little bit afraid of that one and his boat. Yet you think you can take him, huh?
Hey, Than, now, hypothetically, if I were to have vanquished Charon in single combat after having, I don't know, say, helped myself to one of his wares at no charge, how long would you say he'd hold it over me?
Everything is an exchange with Charon, Zag. If there was something you refused to pay for, then I'm going to assume that's why you're back here now. The debt is paid in obols or in blood, or their closest counterparts, I guess.
So then, hypothetically, we're squared away. What a steal. Borrow. You're just testing me here, right, Charon? I mean, when you place a huge sum of coin conspicuously within my reach, what do you expect me to do? Sounds good, mate. When I rob you from now on, it's just my way of saying, Charon, I would like to battle you to the death right now for a quick change of pace. Wait, did I win? No way, a membership card for me?
A hidden stretch of the boundless river Styx cuts through misty Erebus, providing for the river boatman Charon a locale in which to deal with the unruliest of souls.
Nice place you got here, mate. of these savings. Hey, Charon, you're not angry with me after we had it out last time, are you? I mean, I figured since you gave me one of your loyalty cards, must mean everything's fine, but I'm just making sure. Well, that is a relief. Nix, you don't suppose Charon would hold it against me if we had a little fight? To the death, I mean.
None of Charon's brothers ever dared fight with him whilst growing up. Why would you fathom such a ruinous idea, child?
It kind of already happened. And I can confirm he's rather strong. Something I can do to make it up to him.
Probably not, for it is unnecessary. Likely he appreciates having an adversary in his own way. Few would so much as dare.
A friendly rivalry it is, then.
So you took on my good professional associate, is that right, Cubs? And you beat the big boatman himself? I knew you were pretty tough, but not that tough. Impressive work. He's impressed too. He isn't even mad. Hey, so I kind of placed a bet with the old boatman, my associate that is, that you could beat him in a fight twice in a row. No pressure or anything, but just in case you prove me right one of these days, I would appreciate it, Cuz.
Oh, hi. You know, Charon, your associate Hermes apparently had a wager with you that I could beat you twice in a row at some point. I'd hate to disappoint him, so no hard feelings? You and me, Charon, mate. No. Okay, goodbye. Got you, mate. Twice in a row. I guess Hermes wins his little wager with you then. You tell him I said... My membership is renewed.
You did it, Cuz, and by it I'm referring to the act of beating down my seemingly invincible boatman associate who fancies himself pretty tough as underworld deities go. He wasn't sure you had it in you, and if I may be so bold, neither was I.
Nice place you got here, boyo. Name's Skelly, how's it going? But enough with the small talk already. I'm here to do a job. So let me have it. Give me everything you got.
I don't remember having you on payroll, mate. Who's your supervisor?
Oh, I'm not about to wrap my sources, pal. Just try and beat it out of me.
If you insist.
Little tip, boyo. You find any coinage while you're out there, you be sure to pawn it off to that old Charon. Boatman guy, use it or lose it, pal. Use it or lose it.
Thanks, mate. Note to self, always spend everything I earn instead of ever saving. Skelly, how do you know all this stuff, by the way? I mean, no offense, but you're a skeleton who just stands around. Yet you have this wealth of knowledge of the underworld.
Hey, I know people, pal. We'll just have to leave it at that. Now let's see you break some of these bones, huh?
If I must. Hi, Charon. I finally met Hermes, god of swiftness, travel, bringing souls of the departed to your boat. Calls you his professional associate. You and you've been working together for a while, haven't you? You don't say. Charon, I always thought Olympians never consorted with chthonic gods such as yourself, but it sounds like Hermes is a close colleague of yours. You wouldn't happen to know why he's helping me, would you? I'm sorry, mate. I meant you no offense. Father, you always said the Olympians wanted nothing to do with our kind. But doesn't Charon work directly with Hermes? Maybe it's you who wants nothing to do with them.
I want nothing to do with them, correct. My hasty nephew assists Charon out of necessity alone. Not even Thanatos is able to keep up with the rate at which mortals expire and must then cross our borders.
Want me to pitch in? Just give me your blessing and I'll head straight for the surface.
No, I think not, boy. You are born of this realm. The surface is a windswept waste. You don't know how good you have it here.
You're right, I don't.
You seem particularly light on your feet there, Zagreus. I'd figure Hermes himself was speeding you along, except I've not seen him about in... been a while, really.
You've traveled rather quickly to this point. Which reminds me, I've not seen Swift Hermes anywhere of late. The rascal's likely dallying about.
Hey, could you do little favor for me, cuz. My brothers, sisters, family, and whatnot, they're unaware I'm working with you here. It's no big deal, but let's keep it that way for now. Alright?
Charon, Hermes told me that the other Olympians are unaware he's lending his support to me. I'm curious to know what's going on. Thinking of asking Nyx. Figured I'd check with you first. I'll keep it to myself for now, then. Thanks. Nyx, I've come to know the god of swiftness, Hermes, though it seems to me he doesn't work directly with the others on Olympus. Do you know him well?
Lord Hermes is a point of contact, yes. Among Olympians, he works the closest with our operations here, and aids with shepherding the souls of the departed to our gates. Accept his help, for he is faithful to our cause.
I get it. Thank you, Nyx.
I've got a keen eye, boss, so I happen to notice you've got a certain tooth you're carrying about. Know you're in the land of the dead and all, but don't you think that comes across as just a little odd?
What? He meant Skelly's tooth? That lucky tooth you gave me, Skelly. First off, thanks again, and secondly, is this even yours? Had a run-in with Hermes who got me thinking.
What? You gonna believe everything that Gabby guy tells you now, boyo? He doesn't know a thing about me.
Never said he did. Though since you let on, what's your relationship to him? Working for him?
No! Nope, definitely not working for him. Closer to a peer relationship. Well, other than the fact that he's a god and I'm just... Well, what you see is what you get with me, pal. Hey, you won't tell anyone, will you? I'm just here to help, I swear.
Fine. Maybe.
Boss, I know you've heard a certain rumor from a very skinny individual who's uninclined to move. You best keep that one to yourself, all right? Or else our jig is up, and your father wouldn't like that, nor would you. So, cheers. Once took a skinny little chap down to the underworld. Got the business end of a sharp spear, he did. He had it coming, though. A lot of lying and cheating and the like. Last that I heard, he's still making his amends down there.
Wait, what about Hermes? He gave me the impression you might have been somebody else. Nobody in particular, not some great sea captain.
What is it with you guys talking behind the backs of all your friends, boyo?
Don't change the subject.
Don't change the subject!
Ah.
Say, you're good with what's his name? The one who gave you his lucky tooth? So he's an alright sort then. Has to be if you put up with him.
Come on, mate, won't you say who hired you? Was it Achilles? Couldn't have been Nyx. Is it that big a deal?
I am an individual of some integrity, boyo, and protect my sources with my life. You'll have to kill me if you want to make me squeal.
I don't suppose the name Skelly happens to mean anything to you, does it, Nyx?
It means nothing to me at all, my child. Though, why do you invoke such names within this house? Who is this Skelly, and what do you presume is the connection that exists between us?
Oh, well, essentially he's an animated skeleton who shows up just outside my bedchambers and lets me practice with my weapons on him. I sort of figured that you put him up to it. So, it wasn't you?
Achilles moved throughout these chambers under my own shroud, if you must know. And thus you have in your possession the infernal arms. But I have not exerted further influence than that. Is this skeleton to be trusted, then?
I think so. I don't know. He seems all right. I've been meaning to ask you about the odd skeleton usually standing around in the courtyard. Old acquaintance of yours? A hireling, perhaps?
That one Skelly, was it? We only met when all this business of escape began. If I have a connection to him, I'm unaware. Does he claim to know me? Perhaps I slew him when we were alive.
I don't know that that's it. So neither of us has any idea where he's from or how he got there, huh? Can you think of any leads? Nyx doesn't seem to know him either.
Perhaps the gods of Olympus sent him to your aid? Their methods can be odd, and there are many who support you. Regardless, he does not appear to be your father's spy, if that is your concern.
Not a concern, just a morbid curiosity. Than, level with me on this. You didn't happen to hire a shifty character called Skelly to assist me here and there, did you?
Who? What? No. Why would you even ask?
Didn't think so. Father, Of all the skeletons and such in your direct employ, you wouldn't happen to have any here around the house, would you? Out in my courtyard, for example?
Skeletons? I'm sure they'll welcome you when next you visit Asphodel. You may not realize it, boy, but we have a certain standard of decency we uphold around here.
I figured.
Oh!
Say, Dusa, in your work around the house, you wouldn't happen to have run into a Skelly character out in the courtyard there, have you?
Oh, not really, because my work is in the house itself, and well, the courtyard, technically, it's kind of right outside, so I'm supposed to stay inside the walls, but I think I know who you mean. I've seen him, standing there just past your chamber doors. Why? Is he okay?
I think so. I hope so. Join you, but wait, how are you going to get back? I hadn't thought that far ahead.
Just so happens I know somebody who can give us a ride.
Charon?
Doubtless he has pressing matters to attend to. So let's not keep him waiting any longer, son. Come on, then.
Though, even after all of this, it's like we only just met. I have so many questions for you still.
We'll have plenty of time for them, I think. For now, best we keep quiet. Pretend we're just a couple of dead souls on their final voyage.
We're here.
We're here.
Charon, mate, wanted to thank you very, very much for bringing Mother and me home. Your boat's quite comfortable, you know. Though I suppose you won't be making a habit of giving me a ride, will you? It's quite all right. I don't mind the walk. Charon, as I know you serve the realm, I just wanted to say I look forward to continuing to work with you in a somewhat more official capacity. I'll still be breaking out of here like always, but, well, you've probably heard. Appreciate your support. Mother, one thing I was wondering about was, how did you summon Charon to your surface residence, especially without, you know, being dead?
Oh, why... He gave me his calling card after he graciously helped get me out of here the first time. No doubt at Nyx's request, but still. Never thought I'd use it, but I still kept it. Just in case.
No idea what a calling card is, but okay. Nyx, meant to ask. Charon was there to take Mother and me home the one time. So has he been working for you? Or part of some elaborate plan or something?
Charon serves only this realm, child. And he is very trustworthy. I suppose that it is also possible he has some affection for the Queen. If not for you.
Elaborate plan, then. Got it. Alright, fess up, Skelly. Who are you working for? I know it's not Achilles, it's not Nyx. Dusa has no idea who you are. My father... no way. Hypnos? Give me a break. So the house is ruled out?
Sorry, pal, my lips are sealed. How about we change the subject?
How about you tell me who your sources are?
Nope.
Tell me.
No way.
Tell me.
I said no.
Tell me, Skelly.
Nuh-uh.
Come on, tell me, please.
No means no.
Why won't you tell me?
Nice try, pal.
What if I never hit you again?
No?
So help me, Skelly, if you don't tell me who you're working for, there will be no more violence between us, ever.
No. Please have mercy, boyo.
No mercy, Skelly. Tell me, or else it will be only pleasantries between us from here on out.
All right. But you gotta promise me something. Promise not to let on or tell anybody in your fancy house, all right? Or else I'm done for. I'm serious.
I promise. So?
It's Charon.
Charon? Huh.
Yeah, he's rich. He's got connections to guys like me, and I think he's got a horse in this chariot race he got going on around here with Papa.
What's his angle?
No idea. Maybe he likes you, maybe he's bored.
And Hermes. He's working for Charon too.
Yep. Now let's pretend like none of this ever happened so I can stick around, alright? Remember, pal, you promised.
Okay. Charon, unrelated to anything whatsoever, I just wanted to say I'm very grateful to have your support. You've always done your own thing. I never get to see you at the house. But I know you care. An awful lot. So cheers. Thank you. Charon, mate, I know you meet an awful lot of dead, and it probably gets very difficult to remember them all, but I don't suppose the name Skelly means anything to you, does it? Ah, right. Didn't think so. Forget I asked.
So now you found me out, haven't you, cuz? Heard from the big boatman himself? Well, good. We're pleased to be of service, and we've got a lot of dirt on you. So you be sure to keep our secrets too, all right?
Skelly, did you tell Charon and Hermes about our little conversation from before, about your sources? Because I didn't tell them, but they seemed to know.
Boy, yo, thought we agreed we weren't gonna be having conversations on this subject from here on. Spares me having to spill my guts with my sources later.
I didn't get you into too much trouble, did I?
If you did, pal, I would not be here right now.
Hope you enjoyed the feast with the Olympians, Charon. We didn't have much of a chance to chat, though it looked like you and Hermes were having a good time. We'll have to do it again sometime. Hey, Skelly, what with everything out in the open now, with the Queen and Charon and all that, mind if I mention some of this to Thanatos? Charon's his brother, after all.
Oh, yeah, now that you mention it, I guess that part of the old contract no longer applies. So, go right ahead. Appreciate you asking, pal.
Appreciate you answering. Than, you're not going to believe this, but Charon's been helping me. All on his own, apparently. I was so sure that Nyx or someone put him up to it. That Skelly character I mentioned, Charon hired him.
What are you talking about, Zagreus? Just because Charon's selling you things doesn't mean he's helping you. Wait, are you sure?
I'm sure. His helper, Skelly, he's a lot more talkative and finally let on. Although he couldn't tell me how come Charon did a thing like this. I mean, we weren't ever close.
All I can think of is Charon's very dedicated to this house, like some of us. Maybe he thought he could help settle things between you and your father, one way or another.
Did he really think that far ahead? Remember that Skelly character out in the courtyard, sir? Turns out he's been working with Charon all this time. Working for him, more like. I had so much help in this from all of you.
Charon, of course. He has a stake in all that goes on in the underworld, and he probably thinks highly of you. This Skelly character, though, he must have been somebody if Charon's confided in him.
He won't tell me. He was either a venerable sea captain or a petty thief. Maybe both.
Maybe both. I've met the sort.
So my professional associate, the fearsome boatman on the river Styx, you got to know him pretty well in all of this, right, cuz? Hard getting through to him, I know, but his heart's in the right place. It's why I'm working with him after all this time.
Tell Hermes I said hi, will you? Tell Hermes hey for me. Say hi to Hermes for me. Regards to Hermes. Appreciate you, Charon.
Charon.
Take me home.